Hey everyone, I wanted to show an example of one way you can actually make a little bit of money. It's not much, but it's worth pointing out because it actually gives you somewhat of a default value for, in this case, it's the Shal'dorei Silk. Um, you, what you can do is you can craft the silk weave pantaloons, and so you can actually vendor them for a little over 40 gold. uh, and then I guess there's runic catgut and the sharp sprite thorn. uh, I think that's about 1.2 gold in costs. So basically for whatever your Shal'dorei silk costs, you can divide that into about 39 and a half, and should give you about 2.4 gold or 2.3 gold uh, value for each Shal'dorei silk. So the idea is, if you can buy Shal'dorei silk for less than 2.3 gold, then you can make the difference between that and what you're paying for it. You'll make that much gold. So I bought a bunch today. It was the minimum buyout was 1.1 gold. So I'm basically making a little bit close to 16 gold for each one of these that I make. Now, it's not a lot of gold, but it's a little bit. And a lot of times you're just sitting around, you're waiting on a queue or whatever. You can, if you have this, if you buy it ahead of time and just store it in your bank, you can start crafting these, while you're waiting on something, and it's a little bit extra gold that you can make. So another thing I wanted to point out is, and I talked about it in a previous video, is that it's the cost of your materials. So I was wanting to actually create one of these barriers and post it, but the person has it listed for 400 gold buyout. The problem is that ghost iron ore, and it takes two of these to make a ghost iron bar, but right now the bars are pretty high priced, and odds are you can sell them for about 30 gold each. I think I've gone in and set my my value for ghost iron bars at like 20 gold a minimum. So so if you look at my crafted cost on that would be 400 gold. And why craft something if you could actually just sell the materials for probably even more than what you could get for the crafted item. One of the ideas behind the auction house is everything's a conversion. The way you make gold is by converting something into something else. Like if you're gathering stuff, if you're gathering materials and whatnot, you're converting your time into what you're going to post. The materials that you're going to post. Well, now if I'm going to buy those materials off the auction house, or I'm going to convert those, I'm going to convert that time that I expended in gathering those items into something, into gold, then I want to further make some more gold if I'm going to convert them to something else. So whoever's selling these things, either they got they've either created them a long time ago and they're just trying to get rid of them, or they're not really valuing their time like they should be. They should be selling the ghost iron bars instead of uh, crafting stuff and then selling the crafted items. Because they could actually make these should be worth a lot more. And if you look at the region sale average, it's closer to 3,000 gold. So this person is just probably killing themselves, running around gathering stuff, thinking that, hey, I'm going to sell this stuff, and it's kind of that's one of the reasons why some of these items on the auction house are so expensive, is because it takes a lot of time to gather the stuff, craft it. Well, and it's not so much gathering and crafting, it's you're going to have to list it for several days. Maybe in this case, maybe like I've had one listed for, I think, close to 30 days or even more than that. So anyway, so for this item, I've found that I think they just are constantly posting them, and I can't. I don't want to bother competing against that. I'd rather just sell the ghost iron bars or use the bars for something else that I can make a lot more gold on. So those are one things that keep in mind. When you actually move to crafting items and stuff, is think about the conversion of your time into materials, and then is crafting an item worth the conversion factor? Because a lot of these crafted items don't sell as much as they should. So, but uh, anyway, sometimes they do, but it's sometimes it's not worth it. Your time, and you might actually even be losing money by posting these. So anyway, y'all have a good day.